The biggest war you'll ever fight won't be on the outside. It's not with people, not with failure, not with the world. It's inside you, in your mind, in your mouth, and in the way you manage your money. You see, people lose not because they aren't talented, but because they don't have control. Control over what they think. Control over what they say. Control over what they spend. You're not broke. Your thinking is. You're not cursed. Your words are. You're not failing. Your habits are. If you want to change your life, you must master three things: your mind, your mouth, and your money. Because until you do, life will keep slipping through your fingers. It's not a word we like to hear. We think of it as something that restricts us, limits our freedom, holds us back from doing what we want, when we want, how we want. But what if I told you, control is not your enemy. In fact, it's the most powerful force you have. Discipline isn't a cage. It's the key. See, the people we admire, the ones who rise out of nothing, who build empires, who live with peace and purpose, they aren't always the most talented or the luckiest. They're the ones who have control. Control over their thoughts when doubt creeps in. Control over their words when anger boils. Control over their money when temptation knocks. Because freedom without control is chaos, and chaos destroys potential. You want to wake up whenever you want, travel wherever you want, buy whatever you want. That's not the absence of discipline. That's the reward of it. Discipline creates abundance. Control creates peace. When you control your mornings, your day doesn't control you. When you control your reactions, people don't control your peace. When you control your spending, it doesn't control your future. Most people are walking through life like passengers, not drivers. Reacting, not responding. Spending without thinking. Talking without listening. Thinking without filtering. And they wonder why they feel stuck, anxious, broke, exhausted. It's not life. It's a lack of control. Self-mastery isn't about perfection. It's about intentionality. It's about pausing long enough to ask, is this thought serving me? Is this word hurting me? Is this decision freeing me or chaining me? Discipline feels hard now, but it gives you peace later. Lack of discipline feels easy now, but it costs you everything later. So if you want more out of life, more peace, more success, more stability, stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Start reclaiming control, because when you own your mind, your mouth, and your money, you own your future. Everything, and I mean everything, starts in the mind. Before the bank account, before the relationship, before the opportunity, there was a thought, a belief, a seed planted deep in the soil of your mind. Your reality today is the fruit of the thoughts you entertained yesterday. And here's the truth most people never hear. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your deadliest weakness. It will talk you out of greatness if you don't learn to master it. It will convince you to quit before you even begin. It will whisper lies so loudly you start calling them truth. I'm not good enough. I'll never get out of this. This is just who I am. But listen to me. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not your failures. You are what you focus on. Garbage in, garbage out. You can't feed your mind with negativity. comparison, distractions, fear, and expect peace, power, and progress to come out. Your mind is a battlefield, and every day you have to fight for your thoughts. You have to catch the lies and replace them with truth. You have to be ruthless about what you allow in, because not everything deserves access to your mind. That's why many people stay stuck. They change their clothes. They change their jobs. They change their relationships. But they never change their mindset. And so they carry the same struggles into new seasons. You've got to rewire the inner dialogue. Start speaking to yourself like someone you're responsible for leading. Stop letting your thoughts run wild. Start putting them in check. Here's a practice you can begin right now. When a negative thought enters, pause. Ask, is this helping me or harming me? Would I say this to a friend I care about? Is this thought based on facts or fear? If it doesn't serve you, don't feed it, replace it. Start feeding your mind with vision, not just memory, with faith, not just facts, with purpose, not just problems. Because what you think consistently, you become eventually. You don't need more motivation. You need more mental discipline. To stop giving energy to everything that drains you. To focus your thoughts like a laser, not a flashlight. Control your mind. And you control the direction of your life. You cannot live a powerful life with a polluted mind. Let me say that again, because someone needs to hear it. You cannot live a powerful life with a polluted mind. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant grows. What you neglect dies. What you allow in, good or bad, will eventually take root. The problem isn't that people don't want peace. The problem is they're feeding their minds chaos every single day and expecting peace to be the result. You wake up, and the first thing you do is scroll. Scroll through drama. Scroll through people's highlight reels. Scroll through content that makes you feel behind, less than, not enough. You're planting seeds of comparison, and then wondering why your confidence can't grow. You're watering fear and doubt, and then praying for strength. It doesn't work like that. What you consume is shaping you. The videos you watch, the voices you listen to, the accounts you follow, the headlines you obsess over. It's not just content, it's input, and input becomes identity. If your mind feels foggy, heavy, anxious, ask yourself this: what have I been feeding it? Because just like your body can't survive on junk food, your mind can't survive on junk thoughts. This world is loud, louder than it's ever been. But you have a choice. You can let the noise rule you, or you can take control of your mental diet. Start detoxing your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel small. Mute the voices that constantly scream fear. Step back from people who only speak defeat. You don't need that. You need clarity. You need focus. You need power. And that only comes when you clean the clutter. So protect your peace like it's gold. Because a clear mind is a creative mind. A clean mind is a calm mind. And a calm mind makes powerful decisions. Your potential doesn't need to be found, it needs to be uncovered. And most of the time, it's buried under junk that was never yours to carry in the first place. Take your mind back. Take your clarity back. Take your peace back. It's not too late. But it won't happen by accident. Know that your mind is being cleaned. Let's move to the second battlefield, your mouth. Your words are not just sounds. They are seeds. They are bricks in the foundation of your life. They are either building your future or burning it down. Most people speak without thinking. They speak out of pain, out of fear, out of habit. And without realizing it, they're digging their own graves. One sentence at a time, you say things like, I can't do this. I'll never make it. Nothing good ever happens to me. This is just how life is. And your brain believes it. You might think you're venting, but what you're doing is programming. You are literally instructing your mind to shrink your life. To expect failure. To miss opportunity. To normalize pain. Your words are powerful. They are permission slips. They either give life permission to grow or give darkness permission to stay. And this isn't just about what you say to others. It's about what you say to yourself. You are listening to you more than anyone else. And if the voice in your head is always tearing you down, doubting your strength, mocking your progress, how can you win? You can't fight a war for your future when your own mouth is siding with the enemy. Your mouth has the power to bless or curse. To encourage or destroy. To fuel your faith or feed your fear. So if you want to change your life, you must train your tongue. Start catching yourself. Catch the complaints. Catch the self-hate. Catch the sarcasm that covers real pain. Catch the gossip that creates internal bitterness. Then replace it. Speak power. Speak gratitude. Speak solutions. Speak like someone who believes the future is worth fighting for. Because here's the truth. You'll never rise higher than your confession. You'll never grow beyond what you're willing to speak. Start declaring who you are, even if you don't feel it yet. I am disciplined. I am not who I used to be. I have purpose. I am in control of my words. This isn't fake. It's faith. Faith that your words will shape the life you were born to live. Because life and death are not in your job. Not in your income. Not in your past. They're in your mouth. So be careful what you speak. You're not just talking, you're building. If you want to know someone's mindset, look at how they handle money. If you want to know someone's relationship with themselves, look at how they spend. Money doesn't lie. It exposes. It reflects. It reveals what's really happening behind the curtain. And here's the hard truth. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a mind and mouth problem. They speak lack. They think small. They act out of fear. And then they wonder why their finances are out of control. Let's be real. Your bank account didn't end up where it is by accident. It's the byproduct of choices. Choices fueled by thoughts. Choices influenced by words. You think money is just about dollars and cents. It's deeper than that. Money is emotional. Money is spiritual. Money is personal. That's why it feels so painful when it's tight. That's why it causes stress in relationships. That's why so many people avoid facing it. Because money, when misused, becomes a reflection of internal chaos. And when respected, becomes a tool for freedom and purpose. Your mindset creates your money map. If you believe you're always going to struggle, you'll spend like it. If you believe you're not worthy of wealth, you'll sabotage it. If you believe money is evil, you'll repel it without even knowing. But when you start changing your mindset and controlling your words, when you say, I am capable of creating financial peace, I am worthy of overflow, I am responsible with what I've been given, things begin to shift. Understand this. Money amplifies who you already are. If you're careless, it will reveal it. If you're disciplined, it will reward it. If you're generous, it will multiply your impact. If you're reckless, it will expose your wounds. So don't chase money. Master the mind and mouth behind it, because no matter how much you earn, if you don't change the internal patterns, you'll always go back to zero. The issue isn't your paycheck. It's the habits you've made peace with. And the good news? Habits can change, but not without awareness, and not without ownership. You can't fix what you won't face, and money won't respect you until you start respecting yourself. There's a difference, a big difference, between being broke and being poor. Broke is where you are. Poor is what you believe. Broke is a season. Poor is a mindset. Broke is external. Poor is internal. Broke says, I don't have enough right now. Poor says, I'll never have enough. This is just who I am. One can be changed with strategy. The other requires a shift in identity. Some of the richest people in the world were broke once, but they refused to adopt the identity of poor. They didn't let their temporary struggle become a permanent story. And that's where many people are stuck, not in their bank account, but in their belief system. They've allowed generational mindsets to shape them. They've heard things like, we're not meant to have much. People like us don't get ahead. Money changes you. So they carry shame around wealth. They sabotage every step forward. They get a little bit ahead and then lose it all. Because deep down they don't believe they deserve more. Let me speak this truth over you right now. You are not poor. You are powerful. But as long as you see yourself through a lens of lack, you will keep attracting limitation. Poor isn't just about dollars. It's about discipline. It's about how you show up when money is low. It's about whether you invest in yourself when it's hard, whether you tithe, save, give, plan, even when there's barely anything in your hands. Because if you can't manage little, you'll never master much. Don't let your present pain become your permanent identity. You can be broke and still think like a millionaire. You can be broke and still act with integrity. You can be broke and still plan, save, and build. But if you think poor, even when you get money, you'll lose it. This isn't about becoming obsessed with wealth. It's about becoming free. Free from the fear of bills. Free from the shame of not having enough. Free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. And that freedom starts inside. In your language, in your beliefs. In your expectations. You must reject the identity of poverty. Reject the curse of limitation. Reject the idea that wealth is for other people. Because as long as you believe you don't deserve more, you live beneath your potential. You were born to walk in abundance, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And the journey out of being broke doesn't start with a raise. It starts with a renewed mind. It's not about restriction. It's about direction. A budget doesn't say you can't. It says this is where we're going. But so many people treat budgeting like a burden. They think it's only for people who are struggling. They think it means lack, limitation, loss of freedom. But the truth is, not budgeting is what keeps you stuck. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will find its own way to disappear. You work too hard to be confused about where your money went every month. You sacrifice, you grind, you give your time, and yet the stress remains because the money has no mission. You can't build wealth on accident. You can't save what you don't track. You can't grow what you don't manage. A budget is how you show your future that you're serious. Imagine this. Every dollar you earn is an employee. Would you let your employees wander around aimlessly, doing whatever they want? No. You'd give them assignments. So why treat your money any different? Your money wants leadership. It wants to be told. You go here to savings. You go here to pay down debt. You go here to invest in my future. Not, let's see what happens this month. That mindset keeps people broke for life. And no, budgeting is not just for people with high incomes. Budgeting is for people who have a vision. It's for people who want peace. It's for people who are tired of anxiety attacking them. Every time rent is due or an unexpected bill shows up. There is no power in confusion, but there is great power in clarity. And budgeting is financial clarity. So stop telling yourself it's too hard. Stop saying, I'm just not good with numbers. You don't have to be a financial expert. You just have to care enough to sit down, write it out, and take control. Use paper. Use an app. Use whatever works for you. Just use something. Start with this simple formula. What's coming in? What are my non-negotiables needs? What's going to my goals? Savings, debt, investment. What's left? And is it aligned with my values? And then stick to it. Even when it's tight, even when it's boring, because consistency compounds. You won't feel the power of budgeting after 1 week, but give it 90 days, and your life will change. You don't just spend money to survive. You spend money to feel. To escape, to numb. To distract. To avoid the deeper battles going on in your mind and heart. And you're not alone. Millions of people swipe their cards, not because they need what's in the bag, but because they're trying to fix something broken inside. Loneliness. Insecurity. Stress. Anger. Shame. You buy clothes not because you love them, but because for a moment they silence the voice telling you you're not enough. You eat out 5 times a week not because you're hungry, but because cooking reminds you that you're doing life alone. You sign up for things you can't afford because saying no makes you feel like a failure. No purchase can heal a wound. No sale can silence your inner critic. No luxury will give you lasting peace. Emotional spending is a trap, and it's designed to look like relief. But when the buzz wears off, you're still in the same pain. You just added interest to it. You can't fix internal emptiness with external stuff. And yet, the world teaches you that more is the cure. More clothes, more gadgets, more comfort, more convenience. But what you really need is healing. Not another bag. Not another Amazon box. Not another upgrade. You need to sit with the pain you've been trying to avoid. You need to ask yourself the hard questions. What am I trying not to feel right now? What's triggering this impulse to spend? What void am I trying to fill with this purchase? This level of self-awareness takes courage. But that's where your power lives, in the pause. The pause before the swipe, the pause before the checkout, the pause before you trade your peace for a moment of pleasure. You are not weak because you feel the urge to spend, but you are powerful when you recognize the pattern and choose differently when you stop spending to escape. You start spending to build. You invest in what matters. You save with pride. You give with purpose. You spend not to cover wounds, but to reflect your values. Because true wealth is not in how much you spend, it's in how much you control. And that control begins the moment you choose healing over hiding. There's a secret that the richest, most peaceful, and most fulfilled people know. It's not just about how much you have. It's about how much you're willing to give. Generosity is not about abundance. It's about mindset. It's not about how much you have in your pocket. It's about how much you have in your heart. Some of the most generous people on this planet aren't millionaires. They're people who made a decision. I refuse to be ruled by fear. I refuse to hoard. I choose to live open-handed. You see, when you give, especially when it's uncomfortable, you're telling fear, you don't own me. You're telling your past, I've outgrown that survival mindset. You're telling your future, I believe there will always be more. Because money is like water. It stagnates when it sits still, but when it flows, it nourishes everything in its path. Generosity unlocks something supernatural. It shifts your posture from mind to meaning, from control to contribution. From scarcity to overflow. And no, this isn't about giving irresponsibly. This is about giving intentionally. About realizing that when you hold everything too tight, you end up choking the very thing you're trying to protect. What if your breakthrough isn't in earning more, but in giving from what you already have? What if the closed doors in your life aren't about rejection, but about your closed fists? Generosity rewires the soul. It kills pride. It heals selfishness. It reminds you that life isn't just about accumulation, it's about impact. And right beside generosity is her twin sister, gratitude. Gratitude is the lens that transforms what you have into enough. It changes how you see your money, your progress, your possessions. Instead of I only have this, it becomes I'm thankful for what I've been entrusted with. Gratitude doesn't mean you don't want more. It means you're faithful with what's in your hands. Because how you handle $10 reveals how you'll handle $10,000. And let me tell you something powerful. If you don't master your attitude when you have a little, you'll never be content when you have a lot. Gratitude is the soil where contentment and peace grow. It silences envy. It kills the urge to constantly compare, chase, and consume. It roots you in the now, while still building toward the future. When gratitude leads, greed loses. When generosity flows, fear fades. And when you learn to give with joy and live with thanks, money no longer controls you. You control everything we've talked about. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the way you handle your money. It's not random. It's connected. It's a chain. And here's the thing. That chain can either become your cage or your crown. Let's break it down. Your mind is the command center. It's where your beliefs are built. Your beliefs become the filter through which you interpret everything. If your mind is full of scarcity, you'll sabotage opportunity. If your mind is full of fear, you'll reject abundance. If your mind is full of anger, you'll burn bridges before they ever become blessings. Now your mouth, that's your amplifier. It takes whatever the mind believes and broadcasts it to the world. You speak what you truly think, even when you pretend you don't. And your words shape your emotions, your identity, your relationships. Every word is either building your next level or delaying it. Then comes your money, the manifestation. It's the fruit of the tree, the byproduct of the thoughts you feed and the words you plant. Money management doesn't start in a bank. It starts in your brain. It's a reflection of your ability to control impulses, to delay gratification, to align spending with values.mind.mouth.money. Three forces that don't operate independently. They move together. You think disciplined thoughts. You speak with wisdom. You manage money with clarity. You think like a victim. You speak defeat. You waste money trying to numb what's broken. It's not magic. It's momentum. Every time you think better, you speak better. Every time you speak better, you behave better. Every time you behave better, your results get better. This is what self-mastery looks like. Not perfection, not control-freak behavior, but alignment. When your thoughts match your values, when your words match your vision, when your money reflects your purpose, that's when life starts to feel powerful again. Not just successful, but stable. Not just exciting, but anchored. Because real power isn't loud. It's controlled. Measured. Purposeful. Rooted in truth. And when your mind, mouth, and money are in sync, you stop reacting to life and start designing it.